the legendary M1, produced from 1979 to 81. They currently fetch over £500,000. It's a car that Tim never thought he would drive.
Shut up, it's not funny.
And he was right. He's too tall.
I cannot begin to explain to you how devastated I am right now.
At 6'5", Tim simply can't get his knees under the steering wheel to press the pedals, leaving it to classic BMW expert Dan to sympathetically step into the breach.
Oh, I wish you could feel this.
Shut up. Honestly, what a beautiful... Oh, look at this. This thing was so futuristic in its time, wasn't it?
It still looks pretty good.
Yeah. How many of these cars ever got made?
They made 457.
Why did it disappear?
It was a pretty disastrous project from the start. They teamed up with Lamborghini and Lamborghini went bust in the middle of it. I think for years BMW were quite embarrassed about the whole M1 thing, but it did inspire a whole generation of cars. Obviously gave birth to the M5
Yes.
not long after.
This was the original M then, wasn't it?
This was the very first one. But for a company the size of BMW to take the sort of risks they were taking by building this car, if you look at where they went from building family four-door saloons, dabbled a bit with the 2002 and then came up with this monster. It's success through failure.
Well, there's no doubt that both the M1 and the 2002 Turbo are head-turning classics. When the original 2002 series was launched in 1968, it was to rave reviews. So BMW decided to take it on the touring car circuits and race it. They improved the brakes, widened the wheels, covered it in stickers, of course stuck a Triple K turbocharger under the bonnet, and Europe's first turbo-powered sports saloon was born.
I love it when you feel that turbo. You can just creep it on the edge of that boost, can't you? It just wants to scream at you.
That's the trick. That's where the boys' dreams come into play. Now, driving these early turbos is almost like a drug. It sort of gets, that whoosh gets really addictive.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it just pulls, doesn't it? It loves it. And it's got that classic BMW thing of being... I mean, we can still have a conversation at a whisper.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's not ratty and rattly, and if you look at the interior, it's very, very simple.
Yeah.
But it's very, very well put together, so that's why it's still with us.
Yeah.
You don't get that in a Maxi. Nothing flash, there's no garish decals in here, it's all on the outside.
It's all unique, that's true.
Very, very plain, very understated, very sober.
You forget you're driving a car that's plastered in turbo badges, the basic M-colours, the flared wheel arches.
We think we're in a really understated car. Everybody's looking at us thinking we're the flashiest kids in the block.
Absolutely, yeah. It's so simple. There's no nonsense with this car, there's no BS. It's just everything you need and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes, there's certainly plenty to talk about when it comes to the BMW 2002 Turbo, as it's quite simply one of the rarest and most important cars you're likely to see on the road. Launched in 1973, it was the first ever European production car to come with a turbocharged engine. It was quite simply a game changer on the road and on the race circuits. The car's only downside was timing, as its emergence coincided with the 70s oil crisis, when oil prices quadrupled and car production dwindled. Only 1,672 of these beauties ended up being made.